Some would say this is the Smiths' most incredible album that they ever made. It is their magnum opus. Is it true? I would not deny that. This is a great album. This is a fantastic album. If you want to say this is the Smiths' best album, I will not argue with that. I can't. It's. I mean, don't forget. The first time I listened to this was a couple of days ago, and actually then I heard it again last night just so I can have a refresher course on this. But yes, this is the Smiths. Let me get my numbers right. Their third album, The Queen is Dead. And funny enough, with a title like this, you think this would be very morbid, very dreadful. Oh man. Morrissey in the game probably turned up the melancholy knob up to 11, probably 12. And yet, despite the fact that this album is called The Queen is Dead, and you have songs with titles like Cemetery Gates and the Light That Never Goes Out, Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others, and Victor in a Tutu, like what the heck? Is this dreary? What is it? It's actually a very lively, very colorful, very full. It's just full of so much magic. I mean, that's the thing about The Queen is Dead. And when you listen to The Queen is Dead, the first thing you hear is The Queen is Dead, which is a very dancey number. And I think before The Queen is Dead, they probably did the song How Soon Is Now, which has very similar elements to The Queen is Dead. But the first track is an indication of what you're going to experience for the rest of this album. And I just have to say that everyone on this record is at the top of their game, from the rhythm section to Morrissey, his singing, and Johnny Marr's guitar playing in this. I mean, when I was listening to which one was it? Big Mouth Strikes Again, the philosophy of his rhythm playing on the guitar. I mean, he's playing his tail off on this album. But when you listen to Big Mouth Strikes Again, but how fast is he strumming that guitar? I mean, did his hand fly off his arm at some point? I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And then you have Morrissey just coming up with these great lines and his typical Morrissey attitude and Morrissey-isms and his melancholy, all that stuff he likes to do. And I mean, it's so many great songs on here too. Again, I like Big Mouth Strikes Again, The Boy with the Thorn in His Side, Victor in the Tutu, Victor in the Tutu. Okay. And then Morrissey's probably his most romantic song he ever did, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. I think that's probably a lot of people's favorites. And man, this is. And then Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others. It's funny. I think a lot of people would think that's a Filter song. Like, oh man, just even Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others is just. I mean, I was humming that song to myself at work at one point one day. And even though there's not much going on in the song, I mean, you can make that argument, but it's still, even that is still a great song. And, I mean, I feel like I want to go listen to this after this review. So, I mean, this is how great it is. But, yes, if you're going to be a fan of the Smiths, if you're going to explore their catalog of work, and you miss out on this, you are missing out on something amazing. This is just, it's a great album. Definitely one of the greatest albums of the 80s, period. And again, I'm not the only one to say this, but also one of the great albums to ever come out of pop music. And I would find it hard to believe that someone would say they don't like this album, because this is a masterpiece. Just, I have to congratulate on your success and your creativity, because you earned it. Whoever you are on this cover, okay, I'll see you guys later. And we will talk about the final album in the Smiths catalog. I'll see you then.